Good morning, all. How are you? Hope you are doing good. Shall we start today's class? Are you ready? Say loudly, are you ready? Okay. Today we were in block 4. Okay. And I know that all of you write a story in your notebook. So everybody please take your notebook that you have written your story and please read it. Okay. Then take your English workbook, turn to page number 29. There you can see peer review story. What is this peer review story? Okay, shall we move? Then the question is, read your partner's story and fill in the checklist. Underline the subject and circle the predicate. Okay. So here you can see reviewer's name. Here you need not write anything because if you are in class, I ask you to read your friend's story and make a checklist of your friend's story. But unfortunately, you are in your home because of the COVID-19. Okay. So each of you please read your own story. If you are in class, I already said that you read your partner's or friend's story, isn't it? At that time, you can write your name here because you are reading not your story, you are reading your friend's story and you make this review. But unfortunately, you are reading your own story and make this review checklist, isn't it? So, you please read your own story and make a checklist. No need to write reviewer's name. Okay, but you have to write author's name here. Author's name. Look here, author's name means, author means one who written the story or anything. So, you have written your own name here because you are reading your own story, isn't it? So, the author is you. So, please written your own name here. Okay, is it clear? You need not write anything here. Here means reviewer's name. You have to write your name near to the author's name. Okay, is it clear? Shall we move? Okay, column number 1, you can see, does the story talk about a character? So, please go through your story and make sure that your story talk about a particular character. Here, for example, my story talk about a character. So, I mark yes to this column and in the third column, name of the character. So you have to write name of your character. For example, my story is about a Nini. Say girl, Nini Nightingale. So my story is about a girl, his name is Nini Nightingale. Here the question you already see that underline the subject and circle the predicate. Now you are very familiar with subject and predicate. Here Nini is the subject and the predicate is Nightingale, isn't it? The predicate means the telling part which tells more about the subject. Here if we take Nini only, we will get a name of a girl, but together with Nini Nightingale we can assume that that girl is sings very well. Is it clear? Okay, so my character is Nini Nightingale. So I mark yes in this column and here the name of the character, I write my character name. Who's my character? Yes, Nini Nightingale. Okay. Similarly, in the second column, you can see that does the character go somewhere? Yes. You first go through your story and make sure that your character go to somewhere. Okay. And if your character go to somewhere, you can mark yes in this column. And second column, please mark where the character goes. Here, please write the place. Okay, so my character, I already said that my character is Nini Nightingale and she goes to an Iceland. Okay, So my character Nini Nightingale, I already written in the first column name of the character, and second my character, where my character goes, yes, my character goes to an Iceland. So my character is Nini Nightingale and she goes to Iceland. Okay. So in third column you can see, does the story use verbs to describe how the character acts? So make sure that your story describe the particular verbs. Okay. If your story describe verbs, you can mark yes and please write which are the verbs you used. Okay. So here I use the verbs. Said. I already said that verbs means, yes, the words that shows action. Okay. So here said, shouted, flies, then jumps, then next sings. So here I used said, shouted, flies, jumps and sings. These are the verbs I used. So you have to write the verbs you used in this column. Okay. So that means which are the verbs that you used in your story. You can write this column. Okay. Then the fourth column, does the story use subject and verbs correctly? So please make sure that your story, or you have written already a story, so you use the verbs and subject correctly. Okay. So if you use it in correct way, you can mark yes here, and the next column you can see subject with yes or es. Look here, I already written the verbs, that is said, shouted, flies, jumps and sings. Okay. Here the subject with yes or yes. You can see the fourth column, isn't it? So here I used the verbs with yes, flies, then jumps and sings. Here you can see flies, jumps and sings, which is the verbs with yes or es. Is it clear? Similarly, you can see subject without yes or es. That means without yes or yes. Here we already written flies, jumps and sings that contain yes or es. But here you can see the verbs without yes or es. Which is that verbs? Yes, that is said, shouted. Yes, indeed. Said and shouted. Okay, is it clear? Those are the verbs that without yes or es. So similarly, you have to write your verbs here, which means verbs with yes or es you can write here, and verbs without yes or es you can write here. Okay. Is it clear? Then the final column you can see, write at least one idea how to make the story better. So we already go through our story to make a checklist. So while going through that story again, you find out some elements in it, isn't it? While going through that story, you think that we can just add something more or we can reduce something. Okay, I have to write it this column, ideas to make it better. So I already said that here my character is Nini Nightingale and she goes to an island, and the verbs I used is said, shouted, flies, jumps and sings, and the subject with yes or es verbs is flies, jumps and sings, and the subject without yes or es verbs is said and shouted. And the last or the final column, my idea to make my story better is, if I add more dialogues between the character, I could make my story better. Similarly, you have such ideas while you going through your story. Okay, is it clear? So I already said that if I add more dialogues between the character, I could make my story better. Similarly, you have also such ideas. So if I add more dialogues between the characters, to make the story more interesting. So children, my idea to make my stories better is add more dialogues between the characters to make the story more interesting. That is my opinion while I going through that story. Okay. Similarly, you please go your story and find out which are the things that you needed to add while writing a story and which are the things you need not add while writing a story. Okay. So similarly, you have to fill your checklist by looking your story that you have already written in your notebook. Okay. In first column you have to write name of the character, that my character's name is Nini Nightingale, and second column you have to write where your character goes. Here my character goes to an island. Similarly, you have to write your character goes. Okay. Then the verbs used. So I used the verbs said, shouted, jumped, flies and sings. Similarly, you can write your verbs here, and I write the verbs which are contain yes or es, and the verbs without yes or es I already written in this board. So you have to write your checklist according to this. Okay. And similarly, in last column you can write an idea to make your story better. According to my story, my idea is add more dialogues between the character to make the story more interesting. Similarly, you can also write your own ideas. Okay. Then take your English content book. Now we already completed our fourth block. Okay. So shall we move to practice questions? So take block 4 practice questions. Okay. I will read the question. Please listen here. The predicates are missing in the story strips. Make sentences to tell something about the subjects. Be sure to use the correct verbs. Is it clear? Please look through this column. Here you can see question number A, the kites, and here the predicate is missing or the telling part is missing. We already know that the kites is a plural word. So it's contained here in this column. The first question or question number A, you can see the kites, which means the kites is a singular or plural word. Yes, it is a plural word. So you can write this way: the kites fly high in the sky. We already know that the base form of verb is always plural and the plural subject contain plural verbs. Is it clear? So you have to write the kites fly high in the sky. Is it clear? So you have to write the kites fly high in the sky. Okay. In second or B, you can see the old owl. Which is that, children? The old owl. Advice. That means here the old owl gives wise advice. That means the singular subject contains singular verb. I already said that here the base form of verb is plural. So to make singular we add s here. So the old owl gives wise advice. Is it clear? Similarly, you can write this question number C. The red dragon kite dash. So do it as an homework. Okay. Then in question number 2, you can see change the subject in the sentence from one to many and many to one and rewrite them. So the question number A little bird lives in a nest. Please note it down to your text. Okay. 2 a little bird lives in a nest. Here the question is change one to many and many to one and rewrite them. Here the sentence a little bird lives in a nest, which is a single one, isn't it? A little bird. So we can change into many. So we can change the little birds live in a nest. Is it clear? Is it clear? Here we can see a little bird lives in a nest. That means it's a one bird. So we change that bird into many. So we have rewrite that sentence. The little birds live in a nest. Here it is a one bird. Here we change little birds, isn't it? So the little birds live in a nest. We change that sentence. Okay. And question number B, the teacher teaches the children. Similarly, like this, you can write it as an homework. Okay. And question number C, monkeys swing from trees. And question number D, a butterfly sits on a pretty flower. So you have to write those three questions as your homework. Okay. And question number 3, fill in the blanks with correct verbs. Okay. And question number A, the birds dash in the sky. Birds is a plural word. So the verb is also plural. Is it clear? And here the birds fly in the sky. Why it is fly? Yes, the base form of verb is always plural. So similarly, you have to write question number B, the children dash stories. In bracket we have write or rides. And question number C, I dash well, which means dance or dances. And question number C, I dash well, dance or dances. And question number C, he dash tea, prefer or prefers. And question number E, Renu dash study or studies. So you have to fill correct verbs here. Okay. And question number 4, you can see a question. Create your own interesting character by answering the questions. Here you can see A, B, C, 3 questions. So by answering these questions, you can create your own character. And the question number 1 is, what is his or her name, which means your character's name. It may be a boy or a girl, okay. And in bracket we have, think of an interesting name such as Willy Worm. Remember, your character could be a taking worm, a kettle, or even an alien. So here they give an example, which is that, yes, Willy Worm. So similarly, this character name is very interesting, isn't it? Similarly, you make a character and his name is very interesting, okay, Willy Worm. For example, here I write a name of my character. Don't copy this, okay? Ben Bear. This is my character. So similarly, you have to make such interesting characters, okay? And question number B, what is special about what he or she looks like? Yes, you have to mention what is special about your character. Here you have to mention about Ben Bear, okay? So here they said that write a short description. In bracket we have, does he or she have purple hair, wear a hat, he or she is black. So similarly you have to write this way. So look here, my character is Ben Bear. So I can say that he is short and fat and black and brown in color, and he wears a big hat and blue in color. Similarly, you have to mention your character, okay? Then question number C, what is special about how or he? And question number C, what is special about how he or she acts? That means, does she or he know magic or eat worms or lunch? So you have to write that, okay? You have to write what speciality of your character, okay? And question number D, draw a picture of your character. And question number 5, the character you have created in question number 4 decided to go on a journey and think about his or her journey and answer the questions. So here my character is Ben Bear and he decided to go a journey. And the first question is, where does your character go? So you have to take your character and please mention that where does your character goes and what happens first, next and finally. Okay, here for example my character Ben Bear decided to go moon or space. So question number B, I can say that one day morning, first my Ben Bear wake up and he asked his mother whether she accompany him, and both of them decided to go moon or space. Next, they make a rocket and they sit in that rocket, and finally they reach it in moon. So similarly you have to write your character this way, okay? Is it clear? And question number 6, use the ideas in question number 4 and 5. Write a story about character who goes a journey. Here the question number 4 you already made a character, and question number 5 your character decided to go a journey. So in question number 6 you have to make this question number 4 and 5 together and make your character decided to go a journey, okay? And question number 7, read your story and fill in the writing checklist. Look here you can see a checklist. So you have to fill this checklist, okay, with your story. Which story? Yes, you already written a story here, isn't it? Here I write a story about Ben Bear and you write about another character. So by looking that story you have to fill this checklist, okay? The first one is, my story is about a character. Yes, here my story is about a character and my character is Ben Bear. Similarly, you also write. and I have described my character look like and how she or he acts. Yes, I mark yes because my character is short and fat and black and brown in color. I already mentioned that. And my character goes a journey. Here I can mark yes because my character goes to a moon or the space. And the third one, I have written where my story take place. Yes, so you have to written where your story take place. If you have written, you can mark yes. And my story has a beginning, middle and end. So make sure that your story has a beginning, middle and end. If your story has a beginning, middle and end, you please mark yes here, okay. And the last one, all my sentences begin with capital letters and end with full stops. I know that all of your sentences begin with capital letter and end with a full stops. So please mark yes here, okay. And look here, question number 8. Look at the picture carefully. Here you can see a beautiful picture, isn't it? Yes, and think about what happening in it and write in a form of a story. So by looking this picture, you have to write a story, okay? And name your characters if you wish. Don't forget to revise your writing. So here it says that you have to write a story by looking this picture, and after writing your story, you don't forget to revise your writing, isn't it? Is it clear? So here we can see a boy and a doctor, and it is a dental clinic. So we can assume that this boy have some problems with teeth. Okay. So you please name these two characters. Here we can name this boy as any particular name, and this is a doctor, and you please write a story. Okay, this is a noun work. So you please done all the practice questions and please send to me, okay. I think all of you understood, okay. And along with that, you please do this yes for peer review story with by looking yes your story. You have already written your notebook, okay. Is it clear to you, children? Have you understood? Okay, I hope it is clear, and that's all for today. Thank you.